On November 15, 2017, Lil Peep looked out the window of his tour bus and whispered something to the Arizona sky. "Today is a good day. Not every day is a good day, but today is. I feel good." It was the last thing he said before falling asleep, and he never woke up again.
The young rapper was set to perform here at The Rock on Wednesday night, and although the official cause of death remains unknown, news of Lil Peep's passing has sparked conversation about the issue of drug addiction. Police officials are led to believe Lil Peep died from overdosing on Xanax, an anti-anxiety medication.
In October 2017, Lil Peep set out on a 31-city tour across North America. A few days after returning from a string of shows in Europe, there was no real break, no time to recover. Regardless, the show must go on for his fans. However, he didn't want to go alone, so he asked to bring friends from Goth Boy Clique, the collective he came up with, the people who understood him before the fame. But his management resisted. "We want you to be healthy and productive," they told him. GBC shouldn't be on this tour. He was stuck in the middle, between a label trying to keep him in line, and friends who didn't understand why he was pulling away. And somewhere in the middle of all that, Peep started to disappear. To try and fix the tension, his team brought in a new tour manager, Belinda Mercer, a clean slate, a new system. She even upgraded his travel. This time, he got a real tour bus, 12 beds, packed full with artists, crew, and cameras. It looked like a dream, but they didn't just pack clothes. They brought everything they could, including the drugs.
What are your favorite drugs like?
My favorite drugs? Weed, Xanax, Percocet, lean. I used to do a lot of coke, but ecstasy, Molly, pretty much everything.
And talking about pills like Xanax and Percocet, does it really help with anxiety and...
The Xanax helps with anxiety, yeah. I mean, that's what's made for it, so it just calms me down.
Yeah, because in some of the interviews you talked about you were lonely, playing Skyrim and shit. So Xanax helped with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just kept me doing that, like, without, fucking hurting myself.
Have you ever had an overdose or something?
Yeah, multiple times.
And can you describe the experience?
I don't know. I fucking almost died a bunch of times.
At first, the shows went smoothly. Seattle, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Peep was still showing up and still flashing his sad little smile. But soon after, everything changed. He stopped going outside. He stopped eating. He'd spend whole days sleeping on the bus and only got up to perform. The drug that followed him most on that tour was ketamine, a drug so powerful it made him forget where he was. Some nights, he was barely responsive. Friends said he looked like a ghost in his own body, and the ketamine wasn't hard to find. Several people claimed Peep was getting it directly from his new tour manager, a person hired to keep him grounded, might have been helping him sink. Belinda Mercer has since denied these allegations, and she's never told her side of the story. But what's certain is that Lil Peep was slipping deeper into something he couldn't climb out of, and everyone around him seemed to keep moving forward, as if this was normal.
You know what? I have never had a bad trip. I have never had a bad trip because I'm just like so aware of the fact that I'm on whatever I'm on, that like there's almost like a sober me inside of the fucked up me, just being like, you're fine, bro. Like, and everyone else is freaking out around me, and I'm kind of like laughing at them. Like, I don't know, it's weird. I'm just good at controlling myself on that shit. I used to sell mushrooms too, so I would eat like way more than you should eat every day. I kind of replaced weed with mushrooms.
On October 25th, the bus was stopped at the Canadian border. Agents searched the vehicle, and Belinda was pulled aside and detained. Peep texted his girlfriend that afternoon. "I've been at the Canadian border for 7 hours. I think they arrested my tour manager." The crew continued without her, but nothing was explained. She returned days later after paying a fine. Nobody ever said why. By November, approximately 1 month since the tour started, Lil Peep's health was in rapid decline. He looked pale and fragile. It was alleged that he called his mom that day to complain about the Tucson venue. However, he didn't know that would be the last time they ever spoke. He still showed up to perform that night, just like always.
El Paso, I took 6 Xanax and I was lit. I'm good. I'm not sick. I'm gonna see y'all tonight.
Before the show that night at around 3:30 p.m., Lil Peep got off the bus and greeted a few fans and took photos with them. He even seemed happy for once. 2 fans followed him back to the bus. They smoked in the lounge, and Peep, looking out the window, said softly, "Today is a good day." By 4:30 p.m., he moved to the couch and drifted into a deeper sleep and wouldn't wake up again. The fans told the crew, "He's knocked out in the back." No one was alarmed. At 5:30 p.m., Belinda checked on him, still asleep, still snoring. She tried again later. There was still no response. Even his friend Bexy made a joke video from the hallway. hallway. But while everyone laughed, Lil Peep was slowly dying behind that door.
Apparently Peep's at the back of the bus doing press-ups, sit-ups, working on his six-pack, his muscles. I'm gonna see for myself. Oh.
It wasn't until 8:53 p.m. that someone finally noticed. Peep's lips were blue and his body was cold, so they called 911.
Hello?
911, what is the emergency?
Hi, I need an ambulance.
Okay, what's the address?
I'm at The Rock. I'm at a venue called The Rock.
All right, tell me what's going on there.
I'm working with an artist and he's just completely out of it. He's cold, he's just knocked out. I don't know what he's faking, but he's completely out.
Awake?
He's not awake. We're trying to wake him up and he's not awake at all.
Is he breathing normally?
Not really, no.
All right. We're getting the help set in now. I want you to get him flat on his back on the floor with nothing under his head.
I'm on the phone to the ambulance now. I'm on the phone to the ambulance now, bro.
Okay, are you next to him now?
We're in the bus.
Okay, can you get him just flat on the ground?
We need to get him flat on the ground.
If he is not breathing normally, we need to start CPR to keep the oxygen pumping through his blood.
We need to get him flat on his back. We need to get him flat on his back.
CPR now. If he is not
We need to
breathing
get him flat on his back.
we need to get him doing. We need to do
On the
CPR.
floor. On the floor, yeah, on the floor.
If whoever's doing it starts to get tired, have somebody else take over.
If she gets tired,
tired.
if she gets tired, then fucking take over. Let's stay on the phone. Is somebody on their way?
They're already on their way. Lights and sirens. You
They're on their way.
Right there. They're not very far away.
They pulled him to the floor and performed chest compressions until the ambulance arrived. But it was too late. There was no pulse, no breath, just silence. Lil Peep was pronounced dead inside his own tour bus. The venue was filled with confusion. They had no idea what had just happened.
Listen, I came onto the bus, and my first thing I always do is check on Peep. Went straight to the back of the bus. Everybody's on the bus now, at the front. Opened the door, seen him, blanket, like, light off first of all, aircon blowing, which is something he does when he goes to sleep, yeah? He's covered in a blanket, and his head's back, looking like he's knocked out. I was under the belief, yeah, that Pete went to sleep.
The autopsy confirmed it. He died from an overdose of fentanyl-laced Xanax. He didn't know what he was taking. There were also traces of ketamine, hydrocodone, cocaine, and marijuana. But it was the fentanyl that killed him, and he had more than twice the lethal dose in his body. Tucson police never figured out where the pills came from. No one was arrested. The case was quietly closed. Lil Peep, yet another rapper who died of a drug overdose. He was only 21 years old.
When I wake up in the morning, I pop me a little Percocet, and then I shake my little butt till the sun goes down.